Hello everyone. Today's topic that I'm going to talk about is titled Planning for Jesus. And there's a couple of things that I want to share with you today that have really been revolutionary for me in my life with the Lord. And the first thing I want to talk about is planning your calendar for the year. And maybe sometimes if I say that, some people freak out oh, don't talk to me about calendar. I don't want to talk about that. I'm stressed out. And I want to talk about one of the biggest things that can steal your time with the Lord, and it is called the urgent. And the biggest thing I've found, the best thing I've found to combat the urgent is every year to look at my calendar for the year. So I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to give you a few little tips that we use. Harmony, my wife and I sit down every year and we go over our calendar, we go over it in detail, and we make sure we're on the same page. We make sure there's nothing coming that we don't see that will push us into that urgent place, which will steal from our time with the Lord. So Harmony and I usually sit down in January. Sometimes people like to do this in the summer. So once you've got the calendar, you've got the piece of paper, the cardboard, whatever it is, in front of you, you've got the time set aside, the kids are not going to run in and interrupt you, say they're hungry, whatever it is, you're ready to go. You need to make sure the first thing you do is look at all the things in your year, all the things in your year that cannot change, they don't change. So you've got Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas. And then something I like to do, and Harmony has really encouraged me with this too, and we try to encourage each other, is to set aside a time where we actually go away by ourselves. Me, I will go away by myself, and Harmony will go away by herself to spend time with God. When we're finished setting all the important things into the calendar on our paper, then we take time together to put those events into our phones as well. So we have an electronic calendar that is synced up to everything we've just talked about. Alarms have become a real saver for me in my calendar on my phone. There are things that if I don't have these alarms, I will miss and they'll snowball. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about setting up your calendar and making sure you have those alarms to remind you when things are coming. So now we're going to have a little exercise where you get to do this yourself. So I want you to take out your phone, and you can pause this video if you want and then start it up again when you're done. Take out your phone, get your calendar open, and if you don't know how to do it, you might want to go online and check it out. But you add an event, and on that event I want you to write, set up a time to talk to my spouse about our calendar. And then make sure, what are you going to do? You're not going to forget to put an alarm. So the alarm goes off, it could be a week before and a day before, or it could be a week before and half hour before that time. Just so you know that you're going to do this thing, okay? It's very important to me. I learned a long time ago that if I want to say yes to something with conviction, I need to be able to say no to a lot of other things. And I can't say no to things if I don't know when things are happening. The other thing I like to put on there is monthly bills, when they need to be paid. Actually, I do recommend that most bills you make automatic. Don't put things in your life that you don't have to do to make more things to do. I make as many things automatic as I can, so it brings me away as much as possible from that urgent place. In Isaiah 40, verse 31, it says, "Those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength." So my alarm goes off in the morning. I look at my phone to turn the alarm off, and it says, God is more important. And all of a sudden, I'm retraining my mind to remember that God is more important than these other things like Facebook and Instagram and words with friends and the stock market and my emails and all these things that can take my whole morning before I even realize it. And so I'm retraining my mind. Maybe for you love to read a lot. Maybe it's just like a verse. But I love to read a verse in the Bible that's something that's fresh, it's something that's new. It might be a verse of the day if you're following like a Bible reading for the year or something like that, a plan. It might come up like that. And I just read it and I just wait on the Lord and I just spend that time with Him. And I am amazed at the difference in my day. I have tried both. I've tried, get up, do my emails, make some phone calls, get ready, and go and do my day, and it feels like I'm like running through mud, and I get, maybe I get a few things done. I get home and I'm so tired. And then the other way, where I spend time with God in the morning, He renews my strength. It feels like things just start to fall into place. It feels like at the end of the day I have more energy left. And it's just a principle that is in the Bible that if we forget about can really bring ruin, I think, and bring us back into that urgent place where we don't get time with God. Something I need to remember is that when I make a good habit, there's always the ability for the bad habit to come and creep back in. So I've got to keep an eye on that, make sure that I'm not falling back into that trap of early morning rush. Wake up, where's my email, even before I've got my coffee or spent time with God. So got to watch that. When you're setting up a good habit, make sure you're fighting the bad habit. So today we talked about getting your calendar set. Make sure if you're married that you sit down with your spouse, take the time, set the time to go over those things and make it clear so you don't fall back into the urgent and steal from your time with God. The other thing I talked about today was once you have your calendar in place, you know everything you have to do for the year. You need to work out how you're going to do it, how you're going to get the strength. And so remember, the morning hours when you first wake up, put God first, spend that time with Him, and He will change everything for you.